Well, thank you all for being here for a very exciting announcement. Something that near and dear to my heart, and I've been working on since joining the Texas House in 2015. But I'm proud of what this legislature did this cycle. I'm proud of the Lamar State Colleges and the Texas State University system. This is going to be a significant tuition reduction at the Lamar State Colleges. It will do an incredible amount of good for all of Southeast Texas. It will make it possible for these bright young students to receive a greater education and workforce training at a much more affordable cost. The education that will be provided to these students will result in a better economy for many, many years to come. I would like to thank my colleagues here for their investment in higher education, specifically in Southeast Texas. I want to thank my good friend, Chancellor McCall with the Texas State University system, President Tom Johnson, Lamar State College Orange, President Betty Renard, Lamar State College Port Arthur, and President Lonnie Howard, the Lamar Institute of Technology. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all being here. This investment over the last two sessions will allow students to graduate with little to no debt and great financial flexibility as they enter the workforce. It was early October of 2014 when I decided to run for the Texas House. I gave an interview in the parking lot of the Lower Neches Valley Authority, where I was the board president, and I was asked questions about what was important to Southeast Texas, and of course, water, education, transportation, kind of the core mission of government. But one thing I said was I really want to have more smart young people in Southeast Texas, and that's what this is about. More smart young people in Southeast Texas. And we worked hard last session to get a reduction of 25%. And then we had Hurricane Harvey. And then we had a tropical storm Imelda. And what that did to Southeast Texas was devastating. And typically when that happens in a community like Southeast Texas, the first thing that happens is people have to choose between sheetrock, carpet, a car, or continuing their education. And we were at an event, and I know you were there in Port Arthur at an elementary school. Yes. And so Dr. Portier, the superintendent of Port Arthur ISD, introduced me as someone who was instrumental in getting the 25% reduction. Ted Cruz was there. When the event was over, everyone went and talked to Ted Cruz and got his autograph and get pictures. But a young lady came from the back of that room and said, I am a few hours short of getting my certificate and no longer being an hourly wager. I was this close to having a career. But Harvey came, and I had to help I lived with my parents, and they helped me pay for my tuition. And I had to drop out. I had to help them rebuild their home, help them buy a new car. She goes, with that reduction, we were able to work from the budget, and now I'm going to have a career. And that, to me, is the most impactful thing you can do as a state legislature. So what we did this cycle, and I'll let some others go into the details of what we were able to do, but we're going to have about a 47% reduction in tuition since last session, since before we began this journey. And that's impactful, and it's meaningful, because and many of these presidents can talk about the first-generation college students and what every dollar means to them in their pocketbook. It means more hours. It means graduating earlier. It means not having to choose between sheetrock and a career. And so that's what we were able to do. And I wouldn't be able to do it without these fine folks and my House colleagues and even the Texas Senate. So anyway, thank you all for being here. And I'd like to introduce Chancellor McCall.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for what you've done and how you've done it. And it just isn't Speaker Dade Phelan that has done this, because well before he was Speaker, Representative Dade Phelan got this ball rolling. I'm Brian McCall, Chancellor of the Texas State University system, and I'm here today with our president to say, one, thank you to Speaker Phelan and the Texas House and Senate for what they've done, and more importantly, what they've done for the college students of Southeast Texas. The two-year institutions serving Southeast Texas, Lamar Institute of Technology, Lamar State College Orange, and Lamar State College Port Arthur, have a mission that's similar to community colleges, but a funding model that's very different, and that there are no local tax dollars going into the funding of these state colleges. Because Dade Phelan recognized that they were state colleges and the state needed to do its part to get tuition cut in half to be on par with community colleges, he rolled up his sleeves and got to work. And as a result, this session approved $17 million in funding to dramatically reduce tuition and fees at the state colleges, combined with the $30 million that he had previously approved. The state colleges have been able to reduce tuition and fees roughly by half, or 47%, to a level on par with community colleges across the state. What does that mean? That means students in Southeast Texas who couldn't go to college can go to college. It means students who are going to take a light load can take a full load. It means that a semester will cost about $1,700, which is a big difference from what it was before, roughly twice that amount. Our system serves a lot of first-generation college students. And when a first-generation college student graduates or gets a certificate, they will likely marry a college graduate. Their kids will be college graduates. It's transformative for the state and certainly will be for Southeast Texas. Since the first round of budget cuts 2 years ago, headcount enrollment at the state colleges is up 17%, dual credit enrollment is up 55%, and online credit hours are up 124%. And we can expect similar results going forward based on what Speaker Phelan and the House and Senate did this session. I'll say it again, it's transformative. And we are most grateful, and generations of Southeast Texans will be as well. Now may I turn it over to the president of Lamar Institute of Technology, Dr. Lonnie Howard.
Good afternoon. I'm Lonnie. Thank you, Chancellor. Good afternoon. I'm Lonnie Howard, the president of Lamar Institute of Technology. With nearly 8,000 credit and non-credit students, because of these tuition cuts, Lamar Institute of Technology is now the largest two-year college in Southeast Texas. This first round of Parity has done everything that we thought it would do and more. And I want to share with you 3 quick student stories as examples of just how impactful these tuition cuts have been. And I want to use Matthew, Angela, and the 2021 graduating class of Lamar Institute of Technology as examples. First of all, Matthew is an example of our traditional students. He graduated fall 2020, and because of the tuition cuts in 2019, Matthew was able to finish his associate's degree debt-free. And if that was not good enough, in terms of student success, in LIT's 90% job placement rate, yesterday, Matthew started a high-paying job as an instrumentation technician. Also, there is Angela. Angela is an example of our adult learners. She is slated to graduate in fall 2020. After putting through college her own 2 children, Angela has decided to enroll at Lamar Institute of Technology as a HVAC technician. And while she is graduating this fall, she has already landed a job in a higher-paying career field. Lastly is our spring 2020 graduating class. Why is this of great interest? You heard the Chancellor speak about dual enrollment. This particular graduating class was not only Lamar Institute of Technology's largest graduating class, but every graduating student, 1 of 3, 30%, were high school students. So they graduated with an associate's degree and or certificate even before they completed their high school diploma, and they are job ready. And speaking of jobs, I had a chance to visit with both the executive director of the Golden Triangle Business Roundtable and the president of the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce. and I was told that there is a $53.5 billion planned economic expansion, industrial expansion in our region. So why are the stories of Matthew and Angela and our graduating class so important? Because they are meeting a workforce need. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. We're appreciative to the governor and his vision, as well as the Texas legislature. Thank you so much for your time.
It's good to be here with you today. Speaker Phelan, thank you so much for what you do for our region of Texas. Chancellor McCall, thank you for what you do at the Texas State University system. I am a product of a two-year school, first generation. A two-year school changed the trajectory of my life. And I am dedicated with Lamar State College Orange and the Texas State University system to help many more. This year, we had our largest graduation. By 40%, Speaker, it went up. We have made it where it's economically accessible so that students who are like me, very poor, can change their life, and not only their life, but their entire family's lives. This is a rare opportunity for us to be able to come and thank the state legislature and the governor for allowing us to care about kids so that they can have a better life. A two-year degree can mean this. It can be the economic engine. It will give regional prosperity to our area and will not only change the life of those students, but their families' lives with a livable wage and a career and not a job. Whether they're dual credit or an older person coming in for vocational training to learn a craft, a skill, we can do that. We are what the community needs. We truly appreciate it, Speaker Phelan, and you're always welcome at Lamar State College Orange because you are truly changing the lives of our entire community. And I love your color tie. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Betty Renard, and I currently serve as president of Lamar State College, Port Arthur. On behalf of our current students and future students on campus, I want to sincerely thank Speaker Phelan for his successful efforts to increase funding for the college. As you know, the community and students have quietly and patiently endured a pandemic. That challenge caused students to increase their workload and assume additional responsibilities. The support you have secured will reduce the costs of attending Lamar State College, Port Arthur, and certainly help every student continue their path from an educational experience into employment in the workforce. As one nursing student explained to me, it will lighten the load that she carries on her shoulders. In some cases, for some of our students, it will be the difference between a student going to college or not. For many, the reduced financial burden will allow students to register for more courses, which will reduce their time to graduation. We also believe that the additional funding will increase enrollment and ultimately improve graduation rates. So the Lamar State College campus is indebted to Speaker Phelan for the vision and hard work that has gone into making this happen. And again, thank you, Speaker Phelan.
Again, thank you all for being here. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. But I am glad that Dr. Renard brought up the pandemic and the opportunity many students used through the previous tuition reduction to go retool and figure out a new career path for themselves. And it was evident in the numbers that everyone shared today, and the enrollment growth and enrollment retainment. After storms, or there's a competition amongst schools to maybe take those students away and try to get them to transfer to another campus far away from Southeast Texas. And we know when you're educated in a community, you typically stay in that community. And these are workforce opportunities. This is how this country is going to get built. And I met with a group earlier today who is considering a $600 million investment in Southeast Texas. And their number one concern, one of their number one concerns is workforce and workforce development. So as we can grow those jobs locally, we're in a much stronger position in Southeast Texas to be able to compete with the rest of the country. And it starts here. It starts in people's pocketbooks. So, any questions? Well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it.